Any and everything in life that you want to do and accomplish, there must be a bigger purpose behind it. For example, the most common fact of, at least on this channel, is the gym. Why do you want to get in the gym? Why should you get into the gym? What are the advantages of you getting into the gym? Looking good, feeling good, attracting women, having more sex appeal, just filling out your frame, feeling like a conqueror, feeling like a badass, feeling very, manly, feeling godlike, filling out your frame naturally, under 15% body fat, the discipline that it takes, the dedication, all of that. That's what you need to find in life. And as for the fitness side of things, when it comes down to it, your physique is a weapon. I think I've said this a few times on this channel, that your physique is a weapon. You have to weaponize it, right? Not just in combat. Obviously, yes, if we were in the Stone Ages, we're hunters and gatherers, then yeah, that is some tribal combat, essentially. But outside of that, it commands attention. It commands attention from men and women, right? Because especially if you're a smart guy, right? Get in shape. You're already smart. Get in shape, you get the attention, and then now you can speak intellectually in a simple way. If you're intellectual too much for your own good, then people are not going to be attracted to you because it just sounds overly complicated. As a smart guy, as a guy myself, I'm not the smartest, and I damn sure don't want to be the smartest, but when I see certain things that may confuse other people, I try to break it down into the simplest format. Not only to save myself energy on wasting my breath, right? But also you don't have to keep repeating yourself. You don't have to feel like they're getting lost in the sauce, or you're losing them in the whole transition, especially in business. Business, man, like that's a whole nother topic. But as of right now for fitness, man, just keep it simple. Okay, if you're a beginner, this is the thing you have to do. After you find your purpose, you will have that motivation, but now you need to rack up that discipline, because you have to work out 3 to 5 times a week in the beginning to even see any results. Okay, and then after that, you can kind of work 4 to 5 times a week. Have two rest days. You can have the schedule, up to you, but 3 to 5 times a day. 3 to 5 times a week, not a day. No, 3 to 5 times a week, and you're gonna be straight in the beginning. Okay, now as you progress, as you start to gain weight, as you start to put on size, then you can switch up your routine. Your routine is always going to be different, okay, depending on if you're trying to be a power lifter and build just strength, or if you're trying to be a bodybuilder and build size. But they both go hand in hand a little bit, but obviously depending on what you want, if you want the lean aesthetic look, you can go for the power building, the bodybuilding type of deal. If you want to go for just strength, and whatnot, you can go for the powerlifting. What I do personally is I've leaned bulk, so I kind of mix in both. I just mix in both, simply put. I mix in the powerlifting and the, bodybuilding. Because the bodybuilding is also for the aesthetic. You want to have that look, but you also still want to be strong. Some people have a big look, but they're not as functional, they're not as explosive, and having all that muscle means nothing if you can't correlate it to actual activity, to actually be able to do real life stuff, whether it be building, whether it be any type of manual labor, even if it's not for work, but putting something together, solving some sort of big old thing or big old piece, some old school stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like putting together a table or something by scratch. You never know, anything could come up, okay? If you don't have the functionality to be able to comfortably move around and get under certain things, like it means nothing, okay? It really does. So you gotta make it very functional. And there's no such thing as getting too big, right? Sometimes, bro, our genetics naturally, at least my genetics, I have solid genetics, but I don't believe my genetics are that powerful to where I'll get too big naturally. I feel like I would definitely have to take unnatural anabolic steroids to get that unnatural look. Let's just be for real. You're not gonna get too big. If you get too big, it's because you got slouchy and now you got overweight because you stopped hitting the grind or you stopped locking in. That's the only thing, okay? Because at a certain point, that motivation is gonna disappear within probably like a month, okay? After that is the discipline. How bad do you want it? It's not even about being desperate, but you have to pursue that identity, pursue that shift, pursue that greatness, all right? And you can always use that in other aspects of your life when it comes to your finances, your relationships, all of that. But fitness will literally be the foundation for most people, okay? Even if it's not, still, you lay the foundation in the finances, use the same skills in something else. It doesn't matter where you start, but for the most part, fitness is for most people first. And then you delegate to something else while still keeping your fitness up to par. You're building that health reserves, So if you do take some time off, you're still in solid good shape and you still have a good diet to where you're not losing your gains. You can't outwork a bad diet, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't. All right, you're gonna struggle hard if you do. All right, because my goodness, you wonder why your results are slow. What are you eating afterwards? How much are you eating? You know, are you tracking? You know, even if you don't track, you can still make sufficient progress. Just about how much what's the ratio? You get what I'm saying? It's not hard, but I feel like I've explained it very simply. But nonetheless, that's the end of this video. I truly hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all gained some simple but basic knowledge if you're trying to get into the gym, or even if it's not the gym, just any aspect of life with finances, relationships, or anything to build that confidence, build that courage, build that, you know, amplifier to get started, but to stay disciplined after that motivation and happy satisfaction goes away relatively soon, within a month. Let me know down below your personal experiences with any of these things, where you're at in life, you know, what other videos you may want to see. Make sure you turn on the post notifications. That way you get notified every single time I drop a video as frequently as possible. And until next time, share this with someone who needs to hear this too. If they always on and off and they're never locked in, okay, or they're about to be on this winter arc, let them see this video so they know what's really up with this whole trend stuff for the past few years. Until next time, I'm see you on the next one. Peace.